Welcome back into our pregame coverage. We're leading up to Bryant and Catholic back at home tonight, and it's time for our weekly visit with head coach Buck James. Coach, a 35-17 win on the road to start conference play against a very good Fort Smith Northside team. I want to start first by talking about Carson Burnett because I feel like he's getting comfortable in the pocket. He's shown that he can run as well. Do you feel like your senior quarterback is kind of starting to settle in and be the quarterback you wanted him to be?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. And, we've asked Carson many times, just don't lose the game. Just make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, do what they're supposed to do, make the play that you're supposed to make. And, Carson did a great job the other night. He ran the ball when he needed to run it. He threw it accurately. We made some big plays. We want to stress making the field 50 yards deep and 50 yards wide, and we still want to attack the entire field. But we were able to run the football last week. That was a big plus in the game, and really won us the ball game because we were able to control the clock. Our defense didn't play its best game that they played this year by any means, and our offense did a really good job. And anytime the quarterback does his job, the offense looks good.
Well, Coach, how about your receivers? Because really, Burnett's able to find multiple targets now. 3-4 guys deep. Guys are catching balls and making plays.
Well, that's what we want. We want to be able to spread the field, and we don't want it to be a one-guy, deal every time we throw the football. And, he's doing a good job. I'm glad to see that we're getting, Knox involved in the passing game. I think Mytorian has done a great job, and then we got Humphrey's got a catch in the end zone. And, we're spreading the ball out. And when we can do that, then we're going to be tough to cover because we can run the football. Both our quarterback and our tailbacks can run the football, and that's what we got to continue to do. And we're going to play teams that are going to stop one thing or the other. But when we can you make them use the whole field, that gives us a chance to be successful.
So, Coach, Chris Ganaway had most of the carries, played most of the offensive snaps at running back, but you were able to work some other guys in. We saw a couple different formations that I've not seen yet. Is that a part of just, as the season goes on, more practice, more looks, or was there another reason you put some other guys in?
Well, we want to use different formations, and our sophomore and junior running backs that hadn't been playing a lot been doing really, really well in the JV games, and they've earned some carries. And, now they got to get used to playing in the big boy ball instead of just the JV ball. And, if you make mistakes, you drop the ball, you don't go to the right place, it hurts more on Friday night than it does Monday night. But I really think those young guys are coming around. I think they're doing a good job. They play to get well again this week, and hopefully those guys can start helping Chris get a little less carries and maybe more volume in production, and give our team a chance to have more people involved in the success.
So, Coach, even though the team won by multiple touchdowns, to me, one of the big keys of the game was that long sustained drive that Northside had. They get down to the goal line, and you bring your offensive lineman in. Not unusual for them to play offense and defense, but I'm going to read this verbatim here because I want to get it right. You're quoting the paper. It was a rump shake boogie, not a term that we use very often these days. Tell us about that.
Well, it just goes back to my high school days, and I remember our coach used to say when the band gets up there and they start twisting and blowing those tubas, and the band starts rump shaking, we start boogieing, and that's what we did the other night. I think our team got excited. We made some plays, and then the rest of it's history.
Yeah. Let's talk about defense because obviously we've mentioned Brandon Jones week after week, and he sticks out. He's a guy that makes plays. Through the course of the game, I don't always go back and watch it all. It's hard for me to find all the guys that make the defensive plays. Who else stood out to you on defense?
Well, I thought, really our defensive line played pretty good. Our linebackers played good. We were able to stop them from throwing the football relatively easily. I mean, we made them one-dimensional. And I really think that the biggest thing is we got to tackle. We got to spill. We got to put hats in holes that give us an opportunity to be able to get off the field. And that's what we didn't do the other night. When we had a chance to make a play, we made them. But we don't give ourselves a chance all the time because we don't fit correctly. We're not in the right gap. We don't squeeze gaps down. We over pursue. And those are things that we've got to fix. And it hasn't been that big a problem, but for the people that watch the game, Northside has some really talented running backs, and they're very hard to tackle. And you got to give a little credit to those guys. They did a great job of running the football. They don't do a lot, but when they do it well.
Yeah, Sunquist Church and Ty Massey, those two running backs, again, that's a team that scored 63 points the week before. So let's talk about this week. 2 long road trips. It's the 5th game of the year, and it's only the 2nd time the Bryant Hornets have been at home. So I know it's got to feel a lot better this week to stay at home and play in front of the home crowd. Tell us a little bit about Catholic and what we can expect.
Well, Catholic's young. They're really rebuilding, reloading, as you may say. But they have a talented quarterback. I think he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in our league, and he's capable of making plays all over the field. They play hard. They're where they're supposed to be. They do what they're supposed to do, and they're a kind of team that's going to be pesty, and they're going to make sure that you do the things right. Their defensive line is very aggressive. They run around blocks and they pursue the football well. They give you a lot of bad plays. They're the type of team you can hit them for 20 or 30 yards a couple times in a row, and then next thing you know, you have 3 or 4 negative plays. And we've got to be consistent. We've got to win all phases of the game. We've got to be able to win the offense, defense, and the special teams. And this will be a very well-coached football team. Not a very talented football team, not a big athletic football team, but a team that's going to play together.
All right, Coach James. Well, thank you as always for the time.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on the show.
When we come back on our pregame coverage, Aaron Shuttleworth will have our keys to the game, and then it's time for kickoff. You're watching Bryant Hornet football presented by Altman's Roofing.